What's going on, squad? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money podcast for business owners who want to grow and sell on social media. It's your boy, B Mark, and we're back at it like a bad habit. You know what it is. We're back at it with 5 podcast episodes a week. For those of you guys that are new to the audience or new to the podcast, you don't know that I got my live stream disabled for 365 days because I posted a client transformation. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? It's undisabled. So guess what we're doing? We're going live 5 times a week, dropping value for my Instagram audience and recording an episode of the podcast. And that is what we are here to do today. So if you are a business owner that wants to grow and sell on social media, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, iTunes, all the places. Leave me a fucking rating if you're getting value from this information, because my goal is just to pour into you and give you value so you can make more money. Now, today we're going to be discussing why your content isn't converting. All right. So how many people that are listening to this right now are posting content on social media, but it's not leading to more revenue? And it's like, no matter how many times you post on social media, it's like the people that you end up talking to end up feeling like they're broke leads. They're not actually serious. And even though you might get some content that gets decent views, it's like you're literally like scratching tooth and nail in order to convert audience members into paying clients. Let me know if that's you. And the reality of the situation is that a lot of business owners get stuck in this trap, right? Where they know they need to post content. They know they should be making content that generates leads. But no matter what they do, whether they're copying viral trends, whether they're recreating viral hooks, whether they're just posting whatever's on their mind, it's not leading to clients. All right. So in the last 6 years, my business collectively from social media has generated, we've gone from 0 to 700,000 on this Instagram account alone. We've generated $50 million in sales. And I'm going to talk to you guys about how to create content that converts clients. So before I get into that, let me tell you about the 3 traps that most business owners fall into when it comes to content creation. Okay. So these are the 3 deadly sins of business owners on social media. So deadly sin number 1 is you post generic content. So what's my definition of generic content? My definition of generic content is content that appeals to nobody and impacts nobody. That's generic content. Now, I'm going to give you some tangible examples. Okay. So for me, I'm a business coach for people that want to grow and sell on social media. I know for a fucking fact that one of the biggest things that people struggle with when it comes to growing on social media is the mindset, right? They just don't they feel awkward talking to the camera. They press record and then they don't post anything. They've got a bunch of videos sitting in their camera roll, all this stuff, right? But whenever I talk about generic tips like mindset or anything abstract with no purpose behind it, or I'm going for a walk, guys, and I just wanted to share with you a tip that I thought of. Like whenever I post that shit, it fucking flops. Because generic content that appeals to nobody and impacts nobody, it has no place on social media. And so you just post generic surface level content like how to have a morning ritual or how to have a positive mindset or how to not be negative. And nobody cares. And you're doing stuff that isn't actually growing the business. And the hard part about this is when you post generic fitness content or generic content in general, generic business content, people see that and they immediately think, well, cool, like this wasn't valuable. And it took you an hour to 2 hours to create the piece of content. So it's like, don't do that, don't do that. I also feel like the problem with most people is that what they do is they go to ChatGPT and they're like, hey, ChatGPT, write me a piece of content that will help me go viral. And then you just fucking read the script word for word. You add no personality. And so you just have all these like ChatGPT level like annotations in the video and people can sense it and they're like, pass. So if you're posting content consistently and nothing's landing and you're not signing clients, it's likely that you're falling into the generic trap. Okay. So go analyze your content and ask yourself, does this speak specifically to my ideal client avatar? And yeah, I get it. Okay. Having a positive mindset, quote unquote, would be quote unquote valuable to your ideal client avatar. But I want to ask you a very simple question. Okay. If you post something that you think is valuable because it's like something that could be helpful, but your audience doesn't engage with it, they don't save the video, like it, share it, or watch it, is it actually valuable? Yes or no? Even though you think it's valuable because you're like, oh, this is a tip that I use to grow myself. If you give that to your audience and they don't engage with it, share it, like it, watch it, comment, whatever, is it valuable? Yes or no? No, because value is based on perception. And so if you post a piece of content that you quote unquote think is valuable, but your audience doesn't engage it, share it, watch it, come back to your page, consume more content, it's not valuable. Okay. So instead of posting generic business content, what I want you to start doing, because the generic stuff, I want you to write this down. Okay. Start telling stories, because if you can start telling stories, all of a sudden the generic content that quote unquote was falling on deaf ears will automatically have more value. I'm going to give you an example. So if you guys go to my feed right after this video, and you watch, well, it depends when you're listening to this podcast. Actually, if you're watching this live, you can go right after the video. If you're not, then, the video might be buried in the fucking ether. Long story short. So I believe that we are results of our environment, right? And I believe that we are the people that we surround ourselves with. And I believe that like you should cut out people that are dragging you down, holding you back, because it'll make you a better person. But whenever I do videos that are like that, where I'm like, you're a result of your environment, people are like, don't care, heard it 1,000 times. So instead of doing that, I told a story. I told a story about how like I'm lonely as an entrepreneur. And I started losing friends when I started cutting people out when they were drinking. I started losing more friends when I cut people out because I stopped smoking weed. I started losing more friends when I got obsessed with my goals. And I told a story about how I personally am lonely because I cut off people that I no longer resonate with. Now that story is getting great engagement, and then I can give the lesson or the tip at the end of the video. Does that make sense? So that's how you're going to start creating content that actually brings people in, as you start telling stories about yourself that relate to the personal concept. And so let's say you wanted to post something that was about like, you could anything really, but if you wanted to post about like fucking how to be a positive person, right? Instead of just being like, you need to be positive. Think about a story when you were super negative, right? Think about a story when you were just talking shit to yourself all the time. And then open up the video with the story. You open up the video, be like, when I was 21 years old, I looked at myself in the mirror and I hated the person that was looking back at me. And then you tell the story of why. And then at the end of the video, you talk about, and what really changed my life is making the commitment that I was going to do a morning ritual every single day. Bam, 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 bam. Now, all of a sudden, that video has substantially more value because people can actually grip on to the concept in the video instead of listening to another generic tip that was likely written by ChatGPT. Okay, so that's trap number one, is the generic bullshit trap. Okay, so don't fall into the generic bullshit trap. Don't do it. Trap number two, if you're posting content that is not signing clients, it is likely, trap number two, you might have fallen into the conversion trap. Okay. Now here's what the conversion trap is. The conversion trap is when you say to yourself, I'm a business owner that wants to grow and sell on social media. So every post that I make is designed for my ideal client. And you make a post and all of your videos open with, if you are a real estate agent that wants to get more leads, if you are a busy mom that wants to drop 30 pounds of body fat, if you are a salesperson that's trying to close more deals, and every single one of your fucking videos is like opening up with like a hook towards the ideal client avatar. Now, when you do this, when you first start your Instagram, like let's say you've got an Instagram account with like 10,000 followers, okay? If you got an Instagram account with 10,000 followers and you just do videos like that for like a month, you'll sign clients for sure, because you'll sign clients that are already in your audience. But guess what? Your audience is definitely sure as fuck not going to grow, because here's how social media works, right? If somebody watches the first 3 seconds of your video and they scroll away, that tells Instagram that this video does not deserve to get shared out on our platform, because Instagram's only job is to keep people on the platform for longer. So if somebody watches your video in the first 3 seconds and the video says, if you are a real estate agent that's trying to get more leads, and the audience member is not that person, they scroll away. And as soon as they scroll away, that tells Instagram bad video. And if it tells Instagram bad video, Instagram doesn't share it out with a larger group of people. So what that means for you is if every single one of your videos starts with, if you are XYZ person trying to achieve XYZ goal, or it's just like value that's directed at your avatar, your Instagram page is not going to grow. You're not going to get more people in your audience. And if you don't get more people in your audience, well, guess what? Like, you're speaking to the same fucking crowd of people, right? And if you keep speaking to the same crowd of people, how the fuck are you going to grow your business? Because eventually the same people that keep seeing the same videos, all the ones that were going to become buyers, and everybody else is like unfollow, lame, pass. It's like, okay, I'll give you an example. It's like if you went to a concert, right? And I'm a little bit of a Drake fan, you know? I feel like his new shit's kind of lame, long story short. But if I went to a Drake concert and every song that Drake fucking played was, I can't even think of Drake songs right now. I'm so fly, I'm sky high, I get anybody. I love that song. I probably listened to that song 1,000 times. But if I went to a Drake concert and every single fucking song he played was I'm so fly for 3 hours straight, I'd probably leave 30 minutes in. I could do like 30 minutes on repeat and then I'd be like, okay, I need to get the fuck out of here. I'm out. That's what people are doing on your social media if all of your content sounds and looks and feels the exact same. So if you're just, all of your content is like, here's if you're a busy mom that wants to drop body fat, here's 3 tips. Right? You might work for a short period of time, but it's not going to grow your Instagram account. So essentially what you need to do if you are in the conversion trap is you need to broaden out your value. Okay. I'm going to explain what that means. Broaden out your value means that you're not only giving value to your ideal client demographic, but you're broadening the people that you can give value to. I'm going to give you an example for me. So if I post a piece of content that's like, here's a posting schedule for $10,000 a month, right? That's that piece of content that I post. That piece of content is relatable to my ideal client who's trying to grow and sell on social media. But if I post a piece of content that says, here's 7 settings you can use on Instagram to go viral. Well, that's broader value that still is going to give value to the person that's trying to grow and sell on social media, but it also gives value to anybody that uses Instagram that posts content. And so because it's broader value, it ends up getting shared out to a larger group of people. And because it gets shared out to a larger group of people, it ends up bringing more people into my page. Now, that broad value should not be the only content you post. And we're going to get into that in a second. I'm not going to fucking deep dive down that rabbit hole for a second. But broad value is one of the ways that you can start widening out and getting more people to your page. Another way that you can widen out and get people to your page, if you are in the conversion trap, is you can post connection content. An example of this is if you guys go to my Instagram page right now, there's a video pinned at the top of my page that talks about the first moment that I held my baby girl for the first time. Now, any parents in the audience remember what it feels like to hold their baby girl for the first time. It's the best feeling in the fucking world. And because that's such a connection moment for most people, that video has 47,000 shares. So you can post broad value to bring people into your page and then connection content to bring people into your page. Now, when you post your conversion content, which is like really specific for one person, you're going to get more people that will view those pieces of content because you're getting more followers from the broad value and the connection content. Are you guys tracking so far? Is this making sense? Now, the third trap that business owners fall into, this is the third trap, okay? Third trap. We call this the view trap. I'm going to say this really bluntly. The only thing that you should give a fuck about as a business owner is whether or not your content is converting into clients. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. Let's say you got an Instagram account that's generating 50 million views a month. Or let's say you have a business that's doing $1 million a month. The Instagram that's generating you 50 million views a month is bringing you in $50,000 a month. And the Instagram that does 1 million views a month brings you in $1 million a month. Which one of these 2 scenarios would you rather have? Every single person watching this video is going to say, scenario number 2, I want to make more money. However, every single business owner, like I would say 99.9% of them that I talk to are always super concerned when their views are lower. Now, I'm not saying views aren't important, but I'm saying that they're not the ultimate determining factor on what you measure your success on. Because if you're measuring your success on just views and not money, well, like I know a lot of influencers that have a lot of followers that are broke as fuck because all they care about is getting more views. And so if you're posting content that's getting more views, all of your content is like broad value, or all of your content is like relationship content. Like that's all of your content strategy. This is the biggest trap that I see a lot of business owners fall into, is when they're posting content that gets views and they're like, oh, I did a Costco video about 5 snacks to get at Costco. So I'm going to double down on that. And I'm going to do tons of Costco videos of like more snacks to get at Costco. Then they build this fucking gigantic Instagram following of people that like are just there for the Costco snacks. And when they try to convert it, or they're like, I had a client who built his Instagram account to 500,000 and he was doing just like swipe workouts. And that's all he posted was swipe workouts. And he had this gigantic following where he was doing like 500,000 followers, tens of thousands of likes in his posts, $0 online, because it was broad. It wasn't speaking specifically to anybody. And if somebody can't come to your page, you guys, and watch your pieces of content and scroll through and get so much value from your content that they could get results for free without hiring you, then they're not going to become your customers. If somebody can't scroll through your page right now and listen to your videos and feel like you're speaking to them directly in your content, then you're not going to get clients from your content. If you are, this is a writer downer, okay? This is a writer downer. Everybody write this down. Not all attention is good attention. It's a fucking writer downer. Not all attention is good attention. Not all attention is good attention, all right? Now, I'll give you an example, okay? So for me, when I think about not all attention is good attention, if my videographer just ran into the room right now, punched me in the face, we got it on live and we clipped it up into a reel, would that go viral? Almost absolutely. But would that virality lead to more paying clients? Absolutely not. And so if I'm going to post a piece of content that I'm designing to go viral, I want to make sure that that piece of content is in line with the business that I'm trying to attract. So for me, an example is I posted a piece of content on my Instagram yesterday or 2 days ago, where it was like POV, you have a slow month. And like that video of me like pretending to jump in front of traffic, which I think is hilarious, pretending to jump in front of traffic, that video goes viral, and that video goes viral for business owners because business owners think that's funny. So that's the type of virality that I'm looking for. I don't just want to get views for the sake of views. I want to make sure that the people that I'm bringing in are ideally going to become my customers. So if you are posting content on social media, but it's not converting into clients, you fall into one of 3 traps. Okay. Trap number 1 is the generic fitness content trap or the generic business content trap. Trap number 2 is the conversion trap, AKA everything that you post is directed at one ideal client avatar. And trap number 3 is the view trap. Everything that you post is designed to go viral. As a result of that, you don't have any content on your page that speaks specifically to one avatar. So to solve this problem, I'm going to give you guys the content funnel. All right, this is the content funnel. This is a write it down and write this down. Top of the funnel content, you post connection content and broad value, which brings in eyeballs and followers to your page. Top of the funnel content is not designed to turn audience members into paying clients. Top of the funnel content is designed to bring in more audience members. Middle of the funnel content is conversion value, which is so specific that your clients could get results without ever hiring you. Because when your free stuff is that fucking good, people are going to consume your free stuff and they're going to go, damn, if this free stuff's that good, I wonder what the paid stuff is like. And bottom of the funnel is social proof, AKA personal invitations to work with you. Like an example would be like a video that I posted on my page of one of my clients hitting $100,000 a month. Then I'm like, if you grow your online coaching business, just follow me and come with 100K and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help. Now, how much of each? If you're trying to grow on social media, you should post 40% of content at the top of the funnel, 40% of your content in the middle of the funnel, and 20% of your content at the bottom of the funnel. If you have a giant Instagram following, but you're trying to monetize, you should do 20% at the top of the funnel, 60% in the middle of the funnel, 20% in the bottom of the funnel. All right. This is the last thing I'll say because I feel like a lot of people avoid posting social proof content because it gets no views. This is another writer downer. Social proof content will get the least amount of engagement on social media, but will sign you the most amount of clients. That's it. It will get the least amount of engagement on social media, but will sign you the most amount of clients. When I do a video, we're talking about my clients hitting, $100,000 a month or whatever, and I post it on my social media. It's like me recording my Zoom meeting. Those videos will get like 5 to 10,000 to 15,000 views. I don't care because those videos almost 100% of the time are the reason that I get inbound leads. Now people being like, yo, I actually saw your client Aaliyah hit 100K. I want to get results like that. Like, what do your coaching programs look like? They don't come from the videos that go viral with me holding a sign in the street or pretending to jump in front of traffic, which by the way, I think is hilarious and was a joke. All right. So that's it, guys. That's a wrap. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys have the best day of your entire life. Thank you guys so much for following along. If you guys want to get more value from the podcast, you guys can subscribe to the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast on Apple, Spotify, iTunes, all the places. Peace, love, and protein. I'll see you in the next one. Deuces. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.